Nevertheless, let's go back to the Zoom machine and say hello to Andreas Michael, who's kind enough to join us on this Monday afternoon. There he is. Andreas, my friend, how are you, sir?
Fine, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Actually, I didn't necessarily plan it this way, as I just said, but I did want to ask you, we just had Ben Rothwell on the show who talked about leaving the UFC. He's signed with BKFC now, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. He was supposed to fight your guy, Alexander Gustafsson, next month in May. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we find out that he's out. So what's going on with Alex? Does he have a new opponent?
Yeah, he does. Soon you're all going to find out.
I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but it just happened on the show, so it's a crazy thing. So he is gonna fight it in May. Is that still the plan?
No. Oh,
okay.
But it's soon. He's fighting soon. Yeah.
Okay, heavyweight or light heavyweight?
Light heavyweight.
Ooh, okay. So we're changing things.
Yes.
What do you like better for him, heavyweight or light heavyweight?
I like light heavyweight, actually. I like light heavyweight because the way that we beat him,
right.
That's the top guys are light heavyweight, so it's a no-brainer. Like light heavyweight is where he should be, but he's a big boy, so he needs to stop eating.
That is fair. How long have you been coaching MMA for?
I've been coaching MMA I was the Olympic boxing coach for Sweden before, and so I used to get guys like Alex that were good boxers, good strikers. I bring them into the camps that we had, and in boxing there's so much politics, Ariel. So I'm not in this to do politics. I'm in this for the passion of the game, for the love of the game, And I just want to do my best to win. And when politics gets in the way of that, then I decided, there's too many people talking too much shit. I can't handle this. I had to deal with the Olympic committee. I had to deal with the clubs. I had to deal with all these guys. I said fuck this. I'm going to go and do the way that I believe, and I'm going to do it the way that I want to be, and I'm going to have an iron hand, reign of tyranny, So and I did, and I said MMA was at that time in Sweden was non-existent. It was at that time. MMA was boxing professional boxing was even banned. It was illegal here. So we had the Mount Everest to climb. It was a Mount Everest. So Alex is actually one of the pioneers of European MMA, and in Sweden as well. One of the pioneers of. He brought the first. He filled the first arena up in Sweden. Yeah, we can say.
Wow. And so comparing what happened, Alex's rise, you were by his side. He fights for the UFC title. I was there at the Globe Ericsson Arena. I think it was 2015.
Exactly, I remember.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, my God. One of my favorite trips ever. What a beautiful city you have, Stockholm. It was incredible.
Thank you.
And is it even possible to compare what you experienced with him to what you're experiencing now with Hamzat? Is there any comparison, or is it completely different?
Different times. Different times. It's very, very different. If Alex was now the way he was back then, it would be a little bit of a different story now, because now you have more sponsors, you have more money in the game, you have more opportunities, you have more of everything in the sport. So right now, you have the social media is going crazy. They're getting more interviews, you're getting more time. It's if you're good, you can make decent money, good money. Back then, it wasn't. Even if you're good, you're still the sport it's developing. So you're just fighting to put the sport on the map, to put the sport in the country, to put the sport on the limelight in the media here. So he more or less paved the way for the people that are. I'm not just saying it's only Alex, you know. Like there's a few guys like that are, that have paved the way as well. But he was one of them, you know, one of the big pioneers of this sport, like in Sweden. So it's a little bit easier now for things to happen that can help a fighter like get to where he is, you know, because he doesn't have hasn't got the odds against him as much as what it was before, you know. So if you can think that like professional boxing was banned here,
wow, yeah,
that's the situation that we were fighting against, you know.
Do you remember the first time you met Khamzat?
Of course.
What year was it?
It was 2016, 2016, somewhere there, 2016, okay. Yeah.
And what's the story?
The story was that he came and he just like started like brawling with people.
He just walked into the gym? No one gave you a heads up?
He just walked in the gym and goes, hey, I want to be as good as Alex. I want to be as good as all these guys. I'm gonna like crush everyone. You know? So.
And did he have any fights, anything like that under his belt at the time?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. It was a wrestler that came in, and I was thinking like, oh my God, another one of these nutcases that just comes in and it's like, yeah, it's tough for like 5 seconds, and then that's about it.
Right.
As soon as he gets a taste of his own medicine, he's gonna like piss off, you know. But that was not the case. That was not the case. I was like, oh, we have something here.
Wow.
Like, you know, it was like he zero technique, just brawling and shooting for the like crazy to take guys down because he didn't have any striking. Like he didn't have any grappling. He just came in like raw, like a raw wrestler, like that was like, and I saw a lot of potential. The team saw a lot of potential in him. And we just started working. And in 4 years, he's ranked number 2 in the world now. Because his first MMA professional fight was 2018.
Wow!
So it took us 4 years to get into the number 2 spot.
Does that surprise you? Like if I would have talked to you in 2018 and you were obviously high on him, and I said, oh, you know, in 4 years he's going to be number 2 in the world, would you have believed me, or would you have said, I think we'll need like 5, 6, 7 years?
No, because I would be the one that would be telling you that.
Oh, wow. So you believed it? I
would be the one that would be telling you that, yeah. Because that's how much I believed in him.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how much I believe in him. That's how much we'll believe in him. And it's a work in progress, you know. Like a lot of people talking a lot of shit, like talking out of their asses, you know. Like, and you know, you can't make everyone happy. Like if you knock the guy out like in 2 seconds, they would have said like, oh, but his conditioning, like, oh, but he hasn't got hard. He has to be tested. He has to be this. So you can't make everyone happy. Of course, I didn't like the way that he wanted to knock the guy out and show everyone that, look, I'm just going to walk through this guy as well. Of course, we had the game plan, and the game plan was that you should just keep it simple. And Khamzat is very talented in striking, but like, of course, he needs a lot of experience, and the experience is what he was lacking that evening, and that's what he got. A lot of experience, right. The hard way, you know. And people say that, oh, he's conditioning and all this and all that. Like, I disagree. I disagree, because if he didn't have any condition, he wouldn't be able to like pull out that win, you know. It takes a lot. Think about this, like you're running a 100-meter tempo in a race. You're running a race, but you have 100-meter tempo in a 3-kilometer race, you know. and you're pushing the tempo all the time. You're pushing. Every shot that you're throwing is like 100%. Like every shot that you're delivering, you're missing. It takes twice as much energy to miss than what it does to hit. So if you're missing, you're getting tired. So he goes in there and he tries to knock the guy's head off, like from the first moment, like which was not the plan. The plan was to just box him, like keep the jab going, because that's the way to be. That's the way to handle that situation, And he did absolutely everything we didn't work on, and he just wanted to show the people, listen, I'm here. I'm going to walk through this guy. But there's a reason why these guys are there. Like the number 2, number 1, the champions. It's like they're there because they're fucking tough. They're tough dudes. Respect to them. So if you understand that, and that comes with experience, if you understand that, then you have the patience to handle that situation, and that will make you maybe finish him in 1 or 2 rounds. But you need that patience, and that patience comes with experience. Remember, Khamzat has nearly never gone like past the first round. So he just when you feel like it's like Tyson the first time that he went like the 12 rounds, everyone was like, oh my God, he got exposed. What did everyone say like when Makachev like got knocked out like on the Alexander versus Cormier on that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, in 192. Like what did everyone say about Makachev? Makachev is one of my favorite fighters. Like they're not saying that about him right now.
Right.
What did they say about like Khabib, for example, when he fought against Thibaut? Like that, like, and look what these are the great fighters, but is how you handle adversity that shows that you're great fighter. And not every performance can be spectacular, but you pull off the win anyway. And I don't think, absolutely not, that we lost that fight. That was like a clear win for us, absolutely. But it was messy. And when people see from a destructive performance that he's giving to a little bit more close performance and a little bit more messy, not picture perfect, then all of a sudden it becomes like, oh, he lost the fight. But what is like significant strikes? Is significant strikes the ones that you block as well? I don't know. I'm asking you. Is there significant strikes? Do they count the blocks as well?
Right.
Because they're blocking a hell of a lot of shots. Okay, I was eating a lot of shots as well, but it's blocking a lot of shots as well. So in boxing, if you block shots, you don't count the significant strikes. So I don't know. Like, so for me, like it's I was telling him like, just keep it simple. Use your jab. Don't look for the power. The power will come. Look, you're trying to knock this guy out, and you're putting everything you got, and all of a sudden he's become immune to that. Then all of a sudden, we go into he comes into the corner after the second round, and I go off at him. I just like, listen, he said, do not fight with him, box with him. Don't make this harder than what it has to be. This is simple if you just keep it simple. I said to him, use your fucking jab. Excuse me for my language.
No, it's okay.
Like, use your jab, I said to him. Like, directly, he jabs him, he turns southpaw and he jabs him and he drops him. And that shot was not harder than the shots that he was putting in before, but it was precise, and it was where it landed where it should be. And all of a sudden, he said, it's not about the power at that moment. It's about like keeping the game plan, keeping it simple, keeping your distance, not falling in and getting caught by the overhand, which was the only shot. You understand? Like every time he threw his right hand, Gilbert would come over with the overhand over the top because he was dropping his left. Like, and he was falling into the shots. All he had to do was just keep the distance and work in and out and pressure him without actually doing a lot. Have you seen the Canelo versus Smith fight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Canelo was not doing anything in the first part of the fight, but Smith was like exhausted. because he couldn't keep him off him. At the same time, Canelo was like just picking his shots and not doing a lot. But still, Smith was getting stressed by the pressure that Canelo was putting. And it's just, it's active and what do we say? Like, pressure, significant pressure, you know? Like let's call that significant pressure that you don't do a lot, but you do just enough so the opponent gets stressed and works to just create something because you're just walking him down, you know, and at the same time keeping your distance. So that was what the game plan was. That's what worked for the 2 months, 2.5 months.
You know what I love about that answer that you just gave me? I was talking about like the early days. You went straight into the Gilbert Burns fight, and then you proceeded to answer 5 of the questions that I wanted to ask you about the Gilbert Burns, all in that one answer. You did the whole thing. You told me the whole story right there without me even asking any questions. Yeah. That moment, though, when you were yelling at him in between the second and third, it was very powerful. Obviously, we couldn't understand what you were saying. It wasn't in English. Have you ever gotten mad at him like that before? And I don't want to say like you were scolding him per se, but you were very fired up. It seemed to me like you were telling him exactly what you were saying. Like, you need to chill out here and stop getting into this brawl with him.
The thing is that these kids, like my family, they're like a part of my family, you know. So these fights are not that healthy when you have them. You know, like you're not going to get any smarter. You're not going to get any healthier from having like such brawls. Sometimes, you know, it happens, but if you can avoid it, it's like do it. You understand? Then you say we already have like killer sessions at the gym. So for you not to be in this situation, so I just got infuriated seeing him like be in this situation that is harmful and risk everything he's worked for. Okay, if the guy is like if it's necessary, but this was unnecessary, and I told it, and I got very upset, and I just told him like, listen. We've been working for this for like 10 weeks. You're like, stop jeopardizing this because you want to show everyone that you're the man. Understand? He's like, you are the man, but keep it simple. Keep your jab going. He said, keep it to what we've been working on. Like, and at the end of the day, he said, nobody's going to love it. I'm not saying nobody, but you know, but people love a winner. So just win the fucking fight, you know. I don't remember like John Jones's fights.
Yeah,
like in his last part of his career, they haven't been spectacular, but nobody remembers that. You look at like shit, you see like win like this, yeah. That's at the end of the day, it's like that's what people like remember. Sad to say, you know, they love a winner and they forget about a loser, you know. So. Like, I'm not saying he's going to do. I'm pushing him to do boring fights. What I'm saying is that it's to do more intelligent fights, and he has the ability. People are telling me like he has to move his head more to give him advice and all this and all that. You know, like guys, I've been around the block. I've done this for a while now. You know. Like some of that I've cornered against Lomachenko, I've cornered against Usyk, I've cornered against like Gamboa, I've cornered against like guys like Anthony Joshua, I've cornered against like guys like that. We've been in the same training camps with them. You know, like I understand, I know what's happening. He can do all these things, but he just didn't want to. Is that such a hard thing to understand? He did not want to. You know, and when he decided that, okay, now I'm going to start working properly, he showed flashes of greatness, you know, in the fight, of the simplicity can be, you know, and that's no disrespect to Gilbert. He's a tough dude, my God, really tough. The shots that he took, the shots that he gave, both guys respect to them. It was an amazing fight for a fan that likes to see a tear up, you know. But that's not what we're after, are we? We're after the belt, and we're after the best way to win. Like Cormier said once, the best way to win is the easiest way to win. You know, and I believe that, of course.
So, if it was up to you, who do you want to see him fight next? Who would you like to see him fight next?
I would like to see him fight Colby.
Why?
Colby, we're a good fight. Like, we're after fighting the best, yeah? So Colby's like the next step up, and we just keep on going. You know, I think a little bit different, you know? I don't think like the average person, no? I think a little bit like, I think like this, like, if we should fight the best, and if we're not good enough to be there, then we shouldn't be there, you know? Like, that's how I think. Because right now, it's like, it doesn't get easier, you know? It just gets tougher. And if we can't handle these guys that Usman has handled, then we're going to have a problem. And he can handle them, and he will handle them, and he will win, you know? It's just that listening comes with experience. He can train, like, it's not about training hard. Nobody can train harder than him. Like, you know, I've seen a lot of the trainings out there. He trains like a beast. He's like, you know, a lot of people like say like he was overtrained, he was of this, that. No, he wasn't. Absolutely not. You should have seen like what he did like the week before that. Like how he handled everyone the week before that. I had a hard time finding sparring for this guy. I have a hard time finding training partners for this guy. God bless everyone that has helped us. And God bless all the training partners, you know, like they're amazing guys. Amazing, because it's not easy training with him. I'm telling you, it's not easy training. He has a high tempo and he trains a lot, and he expects a lot from like his training partners as well. So if they can't handle it, a lot of guys, like the majority of them, they can't handle it. So it's tough, like finding just guys to train with him, because he's like it's a lot. But if you're after doing insane results, you have to be insane as well. You have to be like, if you're training just like everyone else, you're going to be like everyone else, you know? Like the body it does what you tell it to do, and what you accustom it to do, you know? There's people like in Guatemala that go up the mountain like and come down like 13 hours every day carrying like packs of like sulfur like on their backs, like that 100 kilos. That's like nearly 250 pounds, you know? Like, and they do that for like their whole lives, and they don't get out overtrained. So asking somebody to train every day for like 4 hours, like, and I'm not saying 4 hours high intensity, 4 hours like is 4 hours of training, you know. And we follow like the peak seasons, the camps, the off season, on season. And I've been around like with the Olympic training regime. So like I've written like the training systems that the Olympics does, you know. So that has done before. So this is the regimes that we put forth, and it's not easy. Of course, it's not easy, you know. Like, so he works hard, and God bless him is that it showed it on the night, because nobody that like hasn't got the condition, nobody that doesn't work hard could survive and pull out a win like that.
Could I ask, when do you think he'll return? When do you want him to return, given how that fight went?
Well, this is where I have to use my experience now and hold him back, because fights like that take a little bit of time for the body to recover, you know. So I would like him to fight like maybe in September, October, somewhere there.
And
that's my if he listens to me.
Sure. And do you think Colby will take the fight? Do you think it has a chance of happening?
I don't know. I hope so. God bless them all. It's like they're all doing the best to like make money, like win, feed their families, you know. Like, so I just hope like that we take steps forward. People are talking about other fights, and for me, if I could choose, I'm not interested in any other fight. Like, I want steps forward. I don't want steps back. You know, I don't want anyone building their name on our name. I want us to build our name on other guy's name.
Of course.
No? If you understand what I mean.
That's the game.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming all goes well against Colby, then there's nowhere else to go but title shot, right? In your mind, you beat Colby, you fight Usman, or the winner of Usman versus Leon Edwards.
Hopefully, Leon gets his title shot. I think he's worth it. Like, I think he's been through a lot, and respect to Leon. He's he's a good guy. Good guy. Like, met him a couple of times. Usman's a great guy as well. Like, all these guys at the end of the day, it's like if you get them one-on-one in a room, like by themselves, like, they're fantastic guys. Then some of them put a show here, put a show there, like, just try to make money. But at the end of the day, it's like, I hope that we get Colby, and then once with God's help, we win that fight. Then you say we get the winner of Usman versus Leon. Yes.
Are you going to be a part of Darren Till's career at this point? I know he has his team that he's very close with, but he's become very close with your team as well. Are you going to start cornering him too?
Well, he's coming like in two. We're on Saturday. We're opening our gym in Spain.
Oh, right.
All Star Spain.
Wow, yeah, congrats.
So we're opening that gym. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. It's an amazing center. It's nearly as big as the PI.
Wow.
So it's 5,000 square meters. So indoors, outdoors, we're all going to meet there for the grand opening on the 30th of April, which is a Saturday, this Saturday coming. And we're going to talk about his training camp. Yeah, he wants to come back to Sweden. He wants to continue the training that he likes it. So if he likes it, then absolutely. Before I don't believe in forcing anyone to do anything they don't want to.
Sure.
Even in training, because if you force it, then it doesn't come from one's will, and that will you need when you're in the cage. It has to come from you, So for me, I just say to everyone, listen, this is how I train people. And if you want to be a part of it, if you want my attention, then you have to follow the methods that I use, And if you don't want to, that's fine. We have a lot of coaches at the gym. We all work together, but in the evenings, we divide our fighters accordingly, because there's too many for one coach,
Yeah.
So what we do is we all work together in the mornings, helping each other grow. Then they say one guy might need a little bit more boxing, so he works with the boxing coach. One guy might need a little bit more grappling, so he works with the grappling. So according to what is needed, then the coach is take the right fighter for them, And maybe I'm not haven't got the right mentality to be able to click with one fighter. So, but another coach does. And so we try to assemble and suit every situation, But if people want to train with me giving my energy and focus with them, then they say I have these expectations, and if they want to, they say they can follow. They can come and train with me. And this is what I said to Darren. This is what's on the table, he followed everything. He's outstanding, very, very, very hard worker. Actually, I was pleasantly surprised.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that we're looking to get a fight soon, hopefully.
Can I ask you before I let you go, because of your experience, all this talk of Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury, just curious, as a boxing guy and an MMA guy now, do you think Francis has a chance to beat Fury?
Well, there's talk about Canelo versus Usman as well, and there's talk about
that one feels like a little bit of a long shot. The Francis one is the hot one, right? I'm sure you saw.
The Francis one is. I think it might be done because Tyson got retired after his last win now. So, and he said that he's up for just making money.
But
so
skill-wise, knowing what you know about the sweet science, you see Francis, you think he has a chance, or do you think he's in? No, okay.
It's Francis is the difference with Tyson Fury and Francis is that Tyson is a pedigree boxer. He's done this his whole life, so he's sharpened his skills on that. Whereas Francis, he hasn't got that experience. He hasn't got that like decades of like handling like 12 rounds, fighting against the best, having the crisp, clean, nice footwork, boxing. But what he has that you can't count him out is the power, you know. And in heavyweights, like you can never count that out. Like power is like one shot can finish everything. But you know, Tyson is Tyson. So I think that it's a money fight for Francis. God bless him. And I think it's a good fight for Francis, because it's going to take care of his future, you know. And I think that it's a positive. Yeah.
This was great, Andreas. Thank you so much. I love the insight. Love everything that you had to say. I really appreciate the time. Congrats on the win. Don't listen to the idiots. Tremendous win. I think it was a massive win. And keep up all the great work over there. And congratulations on the gym opening in Spain this weekend as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Our pleasure. There he is, Andreas Michael, the head man over at the All-Stars Gym in Stockholm. And as he just said, they're opening up a new gym in Spain as well. Alex told us about that gym recently. We spoke about that the last time he was on the program. Great stuff, honest stuff, authentic stuff, brutally honest stuff regarding Khamzat Chimaev's win over Gilbert Burns earlier this month, and consistent with what a lot of the smart people were saying. Like, look, you know, sometimes you get into a brawl and you want to wow the crowd. You want to hit that home run, that grand slam, and you get away from what you've been doing. And I can't imagine being a coach who's worked with a guy for 10 weeks, who's known him for 7 years or so, and you're like, golly, this isn't what we planned for. This isn't what we worked on.